Guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave. The time has finally come, a moment that every fan either loves or dreads, and it's safe to say one player on the court is feeling a mix of emotions about it as well. What am I talking about? The return game. Jimmy Butler is heading back to Miami for the first time since he was traded by the Warriors, and let me tell you, this game is going to be full of electricity for fans. This is one of those games where you'll either cheer or boo. There's no in between for the fan base of Miami. You're going to have all sorts of emotions when Jimmy steps onto that court, and trust me, it's going to be a spectacle. Well, a player returns to a former team. It's always a big deal. Some players love it, some dread it. Jimmy Butler's return to Miami is one of those moments that will have everyone on edge, and there's a lot riding on this game for both him and the team he's playing for. We all know the story. Jimmy was traded away from Miami, and his time with the Heat didn't exactly end on the highest note. He had his issues with the franchise, things didn't go as planned, and now with the Warriors he's looking to prove that he's more than capable of succeeding on the biggest stage. This kind of game is what the NBA is all about. The Heat with their loyal fan base will be watching, and you can bet they'll want to show the Warriors that they made a mistake trading Jimmy. Meanwhile, for Jimmy, this isn't just another regular game, it's a chance to go back to the place that gave him so much opportunity and show that the Heat are wrong for letting him go. It's going to be a showdown between past and present, and every play will be magnified under the lights of Miami's arena. As a Warriors fan, this is your chance to show support for a guy who gave us all in the NBA before finding a new home with Golden State. But for Jimmy, it's a different story. He's here now in a new uniform with a new mission. To the fans of the Warriors, this is a game to support Jimmy as he faces OFF against his former team. To the fans of Miami, there will be mixed feelings. It's hard to say if they'll cheer or boo, but one thing is for certain, it's going to be an emotional night for both sides as the game approaches. We know the intensity is going to be sky high. The fans of Miami, some of whom adore Jimmy, others who might feel betrayed, will bring all their passion to the stance. The players on the court will also feel that intensity, especially their Warriors, who will be backing Jimmy every step of the way. This kind of game brings out the best in everyone involved. As a team, you want to show up for your guy, and in this case the Warriors know how important this game is for Jimmy. It's not just about the W, it's about making sure their teammate feels supported and respected during his return to Miami. And then there's the aspect to the rivalry. You got to consider the history, right? The Heat's past with Jimmy Butler is complicated to say the least. His time with them was filled with ups and downs, but in the end they did win a title. As fans, you can't forget that there was that strong run to the finals a few years ago, but in the end they couldn't seal the deal. Still, Butler helped carry Miami to those heights, and it's undeniable that he's been one of the key figures in the team's success over the years. But now he's with the Warriors, and his focus is on leading his new team to glory. His previous years in Miami might have shaped him, but his future is with Golden State, and this is a statement game for Jimmy. Though this return isn't about focusing too much on the past, he's moved on, and as he said, whatever happened with the Heat is far behind him. Whether the fans boo or cheer, it's water under the bridge. He's here to win, and that's the mindset he brings to this game. Jimmy is one of those guys who doesn't let the noise distract him. If Miami fans show love, he'll appreciate it, but if they boo, that's fine too. At the end of the day, it's about winning, and that's what Jimmy's focus is on now. He's part of their Warriors, and he's going to do everything in his power to help them succeed. As far as the Heat are concerned, there's no question that they'll be coming out with a lot of energy. Eric Spoelstra, the coach of the Heat, is a guy who knows how to get his team ready for big moments, and this game is no different. Spoelstra is no stranger to rivalry games and return matchups, so you can bet he's going to have his guys locked in. The Heat aren't just going to let Jimmy come in and dominate. They've got pride on the line, and they'll be ready to show that they can still compete at the highest level even without Butler. But make no mistake, they'll respect what Jimmy did for the franchise, and that respect will be evident in how they approach this game. As for the Warriors, the excitement is palpable. Draymond Green, who's always ready for a competitive game, knows how important this one is. You can expect him to be fired up for his teammate. The same goes for Steph Curry, who feels an obligation to be there for his team regardless of what's happening with his own body. Curry's been dealing with injuries, but you know he's going to want to be on the court for this one. After all, he's a guy who thrives in big moments. The Warriors know that this game is about more than just the standings or the wins. It's about supporting Jimmy Butler in his return to Miami and making sure that this game is one to remember. And we can't forget about Andrew Wiggins, who will be facing off against his former team for the first time since the trade. Both Wiggins and Jimmy have something to prove in this one, and the energy between these two players and their respective teams is going to be off the charts. This is the kind of game where emotions will be running high and the stakes will be even higher. Fans, players and coaches alike will all have their eyes on the prize, and the pressure to perform will be felt by everyone. Jimmy Butler's return to Miami is more than just a regular game. It's a statement. It's a reminder of what he gave to that franchise, and now it's about what he can do for the Warriors this game. He is going to be a spectacle, and there's no telling how the drama will unfold. One thing's for sure, the energy in Miami is going to be electric, and all eyes will be on Jimmy Butler as he steps onto that court once again. As we prepare for Jimmy Butler's return to Miami, the entire basketball world is focused on what kind of reception he's going to get. Jimmy himself seems to be handling the situation with the level of calmness and maturity that only a seasoned player can. He's been in the league for a while now and understands the emotional roller coaster that comes with returning to a former team. As he said, whatever happens, whether the fans cheer or boo, it doesn't really matter to him. What matters is his focus on winning the game for his current team, the Golden State Warriors. It's clear that Jimmy is not letting any personal drama or past history cloud his mindset. He's here to do a job, and he's going to do it to the best of his ability. Despite Jimmy's calm exterior, there's no doubt that deep down this game means a lot to him. Miami gave him a platform to showcase his talent and leadership. He helped lead the Heat to multiple playoff runs, including 2 trips to the NBA Finals, while Miami's ultimate goal, winning a championship, was never fully realized. During Jimmy's time there, it's undeniable that he played a major role in putting the team on the map. His leadership, his intensity and his ability to elevate his teammates made him an essential part of that squad. So while Jimmy says he's moved on from Miami, it's hard to imagine that a small part of him doesn't want to show the Heat what they're missing. On the other hand, the Miami Heat are a proud organization. They've always had a competitive spirit, and you can bet that they won't go easy on Jimmy, even though he was once part of their core. It's a rivalry that's hard to ignore, and while the Heat's run with Jimmy was filled with memorable moments, there's still a sense of unfinished business for the franchise. That unfulfilled promise of championship will always linger, and it's likely that the Heat are going to try to prove that they can still contend at the highest level without Butler in this game. Miami will be looking to send a message that they are still a top-tier team, and they're not going to let Jimmy's return overshadow their own aspirations. For Miami, this game isn't just about playing against a former player. It's about proving to themselves and the league that they're still a force to be reckoned with. They've had some ups and downs since Jimmy left, but this game provides an opportunity to show that they can still compete with the best. And don't be mistaken, Miami will come out swinging. Jimmy might have been the face of the franchise during his time there, but the Heat have an entire team full of talented players who want to prove that they can carry the weight without him. The likes of Bam Adebayo, Tyler Harrow and other key contributors want to make their presence felt. It's going to be a battle of wills, with the Warriors trying to outplay the Heat, while Miami's players will be determined to protect their home court. For the Warriors, Jimmy Butler's return to Miami isn't just a chance to win a regular game. It's about showing their support for a guy who has always been an integral part of their success. Jimmy's leadership and fierce competitive spirit have already made an impact on the Warriors, and they'll be looking to return the favor by showing up for him in a big way. Draymond Green has always been known as one of the league's most vocal players, and you can bet that he'll be right there beside Jimmy, ready to bring the intensity. Green knows the significance of this game and will be doing everything in his power to make sure the Warriors come out on top. But of course, no team is ever complete without their star players, and for the Warriors that means Steph Curry. Curry's presence on the floor changes everything. His ability to score from anywhere, his leadership and his clutch performances make him the player that can turn the tide in any game. Even though Curry has been dealing with injuries recently, You can be sure that he'll want to be on that court for Jimmy's return game. After all, this isn't just about basketball, it's about family. Their Warriors are a close-knit group, and Curry has a special bond with Butler. As much as Curry loves the spotlight and loves winning, he understands the importance of supporting his teammates in moments like this. The Warriors' chemistry is one of the reasons they've been so successful over the years, and in a game like this you can see just how much they care for one another. The Warriors are coming into this game with one goal to win, but there's also another layer to it. The team wants to make sure Jimmy feels supported and that his return is celebrated. As a fan, this is the type of game you look forward to, because it's not just about the outcome, it's about the emotion, the history and the storylines. For Jimmy, this game is about showing Miami that he's still one of the best in the league, but it's also about sending a message to the Warriors: I'm here to help you win. For the Warriors, it's about showing that they're not just a team full of stars, they're a team full of heart, and they're willing to go the extra mile to support their teammates. And let's not forget about Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins too has his own story in this game. He's facing off against the Heat for the first time since being traded from Miami to Golden State. Wiggins' journey has been a bit different from Jimmy's, but he's just as determined to prove that he belongs. In many ways, this game is just as important for Wiggins as it is for Butler. Wiggins knows that he has something to prove, and their Warriors are counting on him to show up as a team. The Warriors are focused on getting the win, but they're also looking to make sure that Jimmy has a memorable return to Miami, and the Heat understand just how dangerous the Warriors can be when they're playing at their best. The intensity of this game will be unmatched. There's so much on the line, not just for the Warriors in the Heat, but for Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins and the entire NBA community. Everyone is watching, everyone is waiting to see how this one will unfold. It's a game full of storylines, emotions and history, and no matter the outcome, it's going to be remembered for years to come. As we move closer to tip-off, the anticipation builds. Who's going to come out on top? Will Jimmy Butler shine in his return to Miami? Will the Heat prove that there's still a championship contender without him, or will the Warriors show that they made the right choice by bringing Butler into the fold? One thing is for sure, this is a game you won't want to miss, and while Jimmy's return is certainly the main storyline, this game has implications far beyond just one player. The Warriors are fighting for playoff positioning, and every game matters. The Heat are in a similar situation, trying to stay in the hunt for a high playoff seed. There's a lot riding on this game, and it's going to be a battle from start to finish, whether you're a fan of the Warriors, the Heat, or just the NBA in general. This is the kind of game that live for: the energy, the drama, the rivalries. It's all going to come to a head in Miami, and you won't want to miss it. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. The NBA world is on high alert as whispers grow louder about the possibility of Giannis Antetokounmpo making a blockbuster move to the Golden State Warriors, with the Warriors seeking to extend their dynasty and the Greek Freak potentially looking for a fresh challenge. The idea of a super team featuring Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson and Giannis is enough to send shockwaves across the league. Could this be the dawn of another era of dominance in the Bay Area? Speculation has been fueled by recent reports suggesting that the Warriors front office is exploring ways to acquire Antetokounmpo despite his current contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. The financial maneuvering required to land a player of Giannis' caliber would be monumental, likely involving a trade package centered around young stars like Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody and multiple future draft picks. While Milwaukee remains committed to keeping their franchise cornerstone, internal concerns about their long-term competitiveness may open the door for a dramatic shift for Golden State. Adding on Antetokounmpo would instantly catapult them back in a championship contention, especially as they look to maximize the remaining prime years of Curry and Draymond Green. Jen's ability to dominate both ends of the floor, paired with the Warriors' elite shooting and movement, could redefine modern basketball strategy. The prospect of the two-time MVP playing in Steve Kerr's system is tantalizing, promising a combination of speed, versatility and defensive intensity never seen before. While no deal is imminent, the NBA landscape is known for its unpredictability. If the Warriors managed to pull off what would be one of the biggest trades in league history, the balance of power could shift dramatically once again. The question remains, will Giannis be the next T superstar to DA the blue and gold, or will the dream of his arrival remain just that, a dream? Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.